Hey, what's up, everybody? It is a Saturday, and Saturday's all night, all right for hanging out and all that good stuff. So I figured we could have a little bit of a chit chat, a roo. And also, I want to talk to you guys about Ryan Trahan. Do you guys know Ryan Trahan? So he has a series that is currently sweeping the nation, the YouTubes, the interwebs, and it's called I Survived on a Penny. And he is currently on a quest, I believe it's day 25, trekking across the United States, starting in California, trying to get all the way to Mr. Beast to deliver him one penny because the penny is going extinct here in 2023. And it's just a fun series. He's done it multiple times before. So it's an interesting story. And what's fascinating about it, and it's captured the attention of so many people, and I feel like we should chat about it anyway, why people are fascinated with this series and why it works and why it's just gone bonanzas. Okay. Hello, hey, Mittal. Nice to see you. And if you haven't been watching, it's also a fundraiser for Feeding America. His goal was to originally raise $100,000 so that he could donate 1 million meals. And he has now far surpassed that goal. He's already reached over $1 million. Now, something that is interesting about the way that he's done this as an approach as well, there is this element of mystery, surprise, and gamification, which I feel like Mr. Beast also does. And so Ryan, not surprising, I believe they're all friends in this big group. They've done this so well. And basically, it goes like this. He starts off with 1 penny. Everything that he does during this trip has to be originating from that penny. And there are built-in incentives as part of the fundraiser. So if someone donates $50,000, it activates the Great Reset. If you've been watching the series, and you know, but if it activates the Great Reset, then whatever money that he has made, whether it's from WAG, which is a dog walking service, whether it's from delivering food through Uber Eats, whether it's selling water on the streets or soda or washing people's cars or windows, whatever else it is, his money gets reset back to 1 penny if there's any one donation of 50,000. There are also prizes in, like, there's one $62,000 one where it's a meme lord trophy. Don't even know what that means. There's also a $100,000 donation level where if someone donates that, it does not activate a great reset, but it does activate a tattoo of the donator's choice on his body. Okay. So, I mean, there are some high stakes stuff going on, as well as like a $5,000 donation is an on screen shout out or mention, and so on and so forth. Okay. So, there's a lot. There's a lot happening with this. And I wanted to chat with you about why I think this particular video series or whatnot is so fascinating for everybody watching. So one of the things that's happening about this is there's this element of danger. Is he going to get reset every night, even though it's like routine? Like he always, checks into a hotel or is sleeping in the hammock, and then he's checking how much money do I have? Did I get reset? And there's this great anticipatory buildup, right? That happens where we're all finding out in real time. Yeah. Did he get reset? Does he have to start over? Should he have bought that plane ticket? Right. So there's this gamification happening, all of this to deliver 1 penny. Right. And there's also, in my opinion, this is such a good way to almost have the audience be rooting for you to get a sponsorship with said companies. Because if they weren't sponsoring him before, best believe they know who he is now, and that would be Chipotle and McDonald's and Uber Eats and WAG. This gentleman has visited those establishments or worked as a money-making method with those places every single darn day of his so far 25-day journey. In fact, there are also mini quests inside of his quest, which is, can you deliver 30 deliveries through Uber Eats to get a $95 bonus? Turns out he had read it wrong. It was based on the wrong city, but but it was still amazing. And so we're all rooting for him, right? And we're all wanting him to be able to buy that plane ticket or, enjoy that chicken, cheese, and rice burrito or his McChicken sandwich and his dollar iced coffee. Like we all know it now because we know him and we kind of like get to watch him do it. Also, I think there's a really great element of change and surprise in this video series because he's taking us from city to city to city. So it's even though some of the money making methods would be the same, he's doing it in a new locale, meeting new people, there's new footage. And so it's interesting to us and still keeps our attention, right? Hey, Sammy Superstar is in the house. Great to see you, dude. I saw that you had started a new series on your channel, Sammy in the Streets. Sammy in the Streets. Right? So I learned my lesson, y'all. Yesterday I burnt my mouth on the tea. So today I don't have the lid on the tea so it can aerate faster. Okay. So there's that. Hopefully I don't burn my watch as I still burn myself. Mm, mm, mm. Not today, which begs the question I haven't asked yet. People, what's in your cup? I know it's not Thursday, but I still care. I still care immensely what's in your cup. Okay. So I've got my Tazo Awake English breakfast tea and honey. Okay. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Okay. So another thing that is fascinating about watching this series, by the way, Sammy Superstar, Louise, and Annette, we're talking about Ryan Trahan. I should have honestly named the stream that, but I just called it Saturday Night is All Right for Hanging Out because no good reason. Maybe I'll do that right now. Maybe I'll change this video name. 1 second here. I'm going to say why. Oh, I wonder if I can even tag him. Why Ryan Trahan? Consent. What would I call it? Penny series? Penny series is breaking YouTube. How's that for? Why the Ryan Trahan Penny series is breaking YouTube. Boom, renamed. At least on YouTube. I did not rename it on Facebook because I'm not going to go over there. All right. So is that pretty good? Right. Why the Ryan Trahan Penny series is breaking YouTube. I know I saw some of your shorts are already doing fantastic, right? Making coffee, making tea. Maybe every weekend. I have some time today. I have some time, I got time today. So if you guys have been watching this series, I'd love for you to post what you've been enjoying about the series too. Now, we've covered he's changing locations and even when the money-making methods, and let's talk about the money-making methods. He has several. So he's walking dogs, right? And I'm sorry, but like puppies make for great content. Okay. Puppies make for excellent content. And then he is delivering food, right? And he is like he's got quite a system worked out. And I know it's not the first time that he's done the Penny series. And so I think some of this he's been able to work out for himself, so he goes to the dollar store and he gets like a poster board and he buys a marker. And then why? Because we know that advertising is a good way to spend money and get money back. And it's interesting to watch him go through trials and tests as well. So there was a really interesting episode where he was in LA or somewhere on the beach. And he discovered that first he went and he bought the dollar sign and then he bought some waters, individually sold those waters. And then he thought, it'd be great because waters are less expensive than soda was to purchase at the store. So then he was like, you know what I should do now that I have this money, I'm going to buy sodas and then I'm going to be able to charge maybe even a little bit more. So he started selling sodas, right? And then what he discovered is a lot of the people there are very health conscious and they didn't want soda. They wanted water. So he's like, okay, it cost me more money. People didn't really want to buy it. It took me longer to sell it. you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna go buy more water and sell more water. So then he went back to his money making method of that. He's also a really great storyteller in the way that he can explain something like, I'm trying to make enough money so that I can buy a bicycle, or so I can do more deliveries, so I can get to where I need to. It's better than walking. And then it's something like, oh, you know what I should do? I should rent a Lime bike for, or it was a scooter. I can rent a scooter for 24 hours. So let me start doing Uber deliveries. And here's the scooter, and it's getting me, all of these destinations that I need to go to. So he's able to kind of calculate ROI. So some of his money making methods, some were like, oh, let me wash the tires of your car, or the rims, and then one was like, let me wash like windows. And he's like, those aren't making me as much money as like selling water. So I should probably just stick to this type of thing. So he isn't afraid to like experiment. And there's also something very comforting in the familiarity of his morning routine, or even if you think about it, the style in which his videos are done. So we know we're going to wake up and he's going to say good morning to us, and he's going to take us through his morning routine, which typically is something like brush your teeth and do this hair and like put on deodorant, and like that's it. And then, he's going to tell us the plan. And so then the plan gets us ready for the day of like, what is the money making? What is the plan? And you could see where this could start to get really boring, because even in one instance, there was a stretch where he was 5 or 6 days in the same city because it was cheaper to purchase a plane ticket at a certain time. But it was like, okay, but you have to be here for like 5 days first. And so he did that. And so he's, again, calculating this risk. How many days do I have? How many days will it take me to, how much money will it take me to get to my final destination, or get to, where I'm trying to get to next? And some of the cities are better than others for these money making methods, but it is a universal truth that a lot of the things that he's been doing in every city, he can replicate in every city. So it's also fun to watch him, because he's very young, and he, is obviously like good looking, but he's also a little bit like awkward. But I wonder how much of that is sometimes a show, um, or if that's just really truly his personality. And he kind of revels in it, takes it in, and kind of like, this is who I am, which is very young, refreshing, authentic. And at the end of it, he's always just very happy, smiley, grateful, gracious, all those things. And I will be honest, I did not know much about Ryan Trahan beforehand, except for I knew that he was young, and he was one of the influencers that a lot of channels wanted to talk about, because at one point he got married during the pandemic, I think also very young. And it was one, I think, when everyone was supposed to be in quarantine, and I think they tried to hide it. Young kids in love, we can't really maybe blame them so much. A lot of people, delayed weddings. And so I think a lot of people were rightfully upset that maybe they shouldn't have been doing whatever they were doing. But I guess also that was 2 years ago, maybe. So at this point, I don't know. I don't know anything else about him besides, I think he was a kid that got married when people weren't supposed to be in quarantine. And then now he has this penny series. I know that he spoke last year at Vid Summit, and I didn't have a chance to go to that talk because I was also working at Vid Summit and then had my talk. So there's that. So I should see if it's available on replay, though. I would like to see his chat. So another thing about the series I just introduced you to, I have to say that this series, I think, has been a master class. And if you're trying to daily vlog or have this like journey or something, it's quite fascinating to watch what has been happening. Now you've got all these people rooting for him, and it's a team effort. Plus, you don't feel bad about maybe if you are donating this money, because it's all going to this charity for Feeding America, right? And you want him to succeed in his task, and you kind of want him to get reset as well, because I don't know why, but people in the world are a little bit sadistic and they want to see him like go back to like number one, because we all love an underdog story, and we want him to build up his money again. And like, we want him to succeed, but we want him to like make it interesting along the way. Does that make sense? Hopefully. That sounds awful of us, but it's also kind of like true. And another thing that's really interesting about this series, it makes everyone like come together on this team. Like everyone is team. You're going to make it, to Mr. Beast, or, oh, you're not going to make it. And you have a way to participate even if you don't end up donating money, because he's doing basically a subscriber drive where he says like, hey, if you're watching this video, if you subscribe during this 30-day journey, we're donating also a penny or a meal to every person who subscribes. And he has grown maybe 1.5 million subscribers in the 25 days. Like, I'm not kidding. He's grown over 1 million subscribers. I think it's like 1.3 million subscribers in 25 days since this series has started happening. So that, if you think about it, just that alone, right, is mind-boggling. He is obviously very valuable to people. And you best believe that like McDonald's, Chipotle, WAG, these companies are not going to reciprocate some of the goodness that is being sent their way from all of this basically free advertising that is happening because of this quest and because of his infatuation and repeated patterns of behavior every day. He goes to McDonald's every day, once or twice a day. And he also goes to Chipotle like at least once or multiple times. In fact, like it's gotten so bad. We all know like part of that routine is we know his fun drink, which is first he has an entire cup of water, ice water, gets a brain freeze, and then he does a special drink, which is like 20% Sprite and like 40% orange drink and 40% lemonade or whatever it is, right? So we all see that he has these little quirks every time he eats a burrito, which only has 3 things in it. You would think the man would want to branch out and try other. No, it's chicken, it's cheese, and it's rice. That's it. That's all. That everyone who ever hangs out with him knows his order at Chipotle. And then he always unwraps and like smacks his burrito, which is weird, but that's just his traditional way of doing it. And so we're all pulled into these little things. We're waiting for that moment. Oh, he's at Chipotle. Oh, he's at McDonald's. He's going to slurp his iced coffee and then say whether it's the best iced coffee that he's had on this trip so far, right? So I have been fascinated by watching this series, and I know I've been talking about it this whole way, but apparently that's what the live stream is about. And I think that it's truly a masterclass in YouTubing, catching people's attention, holding it over a very simple like concept. Can you go from one end of the country to the other, making your own money along the way, and have these obstacles thrown at you to make it spicy and interesting? Now, there are some things that have made it so he has his own rules, and he does explain them, like, hey, if I purchase something, if the Great Reset is activated, which is where someone donates the $50,000, he doesn't have to give that back. So he bought himself like a hammock, a sleeping bag thing. So he bought that on his first night. He hasn't had to give it back because it's part of his inventory. And he then decided to splurge, and he bought himself like a bicycle. Like I said, he was delivering food and whatnot. And he's always very smart. He's like, I'm going to sell the bicycle on the last day of me being in the city as I'm about to get on the bike or on the bus to go to the airport or whatever else it is, right? So he's very strategic in being able to make his money back and recount. There was one episode where he was selling the waters and sodas, but he first bought a cooler and then he returned the cooler at the end of the night so that he could get his money back and rebuild up his arsenal. Things like that. It's interesting. Or like even knowing that, hey, if you fly on different days, then you're going to be able to save money. And certain things would be like, hey, if I book a hotel online, I save a few more dollars than if I book it by walking in to the hotel and going up to the front desk. So it's been fun to watch it. And so he bought himself also like a $50 gift card to Chipotle, a $50 gift card to McDonald's. Plus he is using their app and reward system when he purchases. So sometimes he'll get like a free soda or a free coffee or a free, something. So it's also smart if he has this, gift card, so he isn't worried about being reset because he knows he's going to be able to eat, He knows he has like a blanket or something so he can sleep outside or whatnot. And in some instances, he'd already purchased a plane ticket days in advance. So he knew, like, hey, as long as I get to the airport in 3 days, right, I already have paid for my ticket. So those types of things and the way that he's crafted it and telling the story and doing these little montages and stuff like that, we're all really rooting for him. And we're all going to be, I'm sure, very sad when this series is over. But I think it's just this interesting testament of what can happen when you have this like idea. It's a simple idea if you think about it, but the execution of it, I don't know that many people who'd be willing to just be like 30 days. Let's see what happens, man. Let's sleep in a hammock, or I'm delivering Uber Eats, trying to get to 25. It's a lot of work, and he's also then, and he has like a couple of guys with him. They're filming, editing, and uploading daily. So do you have enough content? And these episodes are still like 11 to 16 minutes or something like that long. So that's a tall order to also get and keep everyone's attention. But I think if you watch the way that he's storytelling and the way that he's doing things, and he's obviously making you want to tune into each and every new episode. He won't say where he's going. He's going to, show it to you in the next episode. So you want to tune in to be like, where's he going? Where did he end up? How far did he get? Did he get reset? Right? There are all these things that are triggering you to make you want to check back. So it's the first thing that I end up watching as soon as I wake up in the morning, because I know that it's predictably and reliably like there to consume. So you can't take that for granted. That is a hard thing to do. And does it take 30 days or more to build a habit? Yeah. So now everyone's checking in daily, wanting to see what he's up to, wanting to see how he's going on his quest. It's now part of their routine. So even when he stops doing the series, a lot of people will still probably tune in and be like, did he post today? And the fact that he grew 1.5 million subscribers in the last 30 days, there's a lot of people who are going to stay subscribed to him. So I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. So he's up 2.5 million now in this 1 month, and it hasn't even been a full month. Yeah. I mean, and it's not the first time that he's done the I survived on a penny for X amount of days or something like that. So it's not even new content to him. If you think about it, he has learned and honed and stuff. And I have to say that the way that he shoots, storytells, and kind of goes through stuff, and I don't want to use compare too loosely, cavalierly, whatever. I think he reminds me of a young Casey Neistat. I know, I said it. I'm just going to put that out there. So if you guys have thoughts, opinions on that kind of stuff, let me know. Let me know. But that's why I believe Ryan Trahan Penny series is breaking YouTube. People want to be involved in it. It doesn't cost you anything to hit the subscribe button for him and check in on his journey, right? By the way, it doesn't cost you anything to hit the subscribe button on my channel either. Just going to put that out there. It's also free. It's also free. You guys have thoughts on the Ryan Trahan series? Yeah, young Casey, right? Yeah, I think so. Wait, a name it all. You've been on my channel since 100 subs? Wait, did I read that correctly? Oh, in fact, Sammy Superstar actually said it earlier. He said Ryan Trahan is the new Casey of the vlogs. Yeah. You know what, though? I don't know if it's true that people love daily vlogs. He's done something in his to make it very, very interesting. Like I said, he has the elements of a quest, a journey, possible opponents, the inevitable, what is going to happen at the end of it when he actually gets to Jimmy, Mr. Beast, and gives him the penny, People want to see what's the reaction. In fact, one of the people who reset him was Mr. Beast, was Jimmy. So Jimmy knows that he's trying to get across the country to him and reset him. So I think that's hilarious. But in all fun, it's also a fundraiser. So, even though you're like, you scamp, it's also like, thank you. You just donated a bunch of meals, but also like, but don't we love to root for someone who's had a great reset? I feel like there also are multiple montages out there of probably all the different compilations of ways that he said, the great reset. Sammy Superstar said, I feel like the editing is a little bit better than Casey. Interesting. Okay. Okay. So, Sammy, you've been watching Ryan Trahan series. Did you know of him beforehand? And like, what do you like about them? There's a lot to unpack, though, honestly. I feel like truly, I think I did. I talked about it for 30 minutes. 30 minutes just talking about how I think that this series is probably just a great masterclass. If you really want to figure it out on YouTube and you really want to do it as a vlogger almost, you should be watching the video. Like, how's he doing pacing? How's he doing storytelling? How's he doing things like angles? How's he doing like, there's also something a little bit, the man has, let's say even before this all started, 8.5 million subscribers. He can afford like nice equipment. He can afford like a wireless microphone, but there's something cute and endearing about the way that he has a tiny little microphone that looks like a tiny little microphone with a wired connection that he just constantly holds up to his mouth and then in front of people. And it's like that little bit of whimsy, that little piece that he could easily put on like a little wired like microphone, right? But he doesn't. He chooses to do it in this way, which makes it a little bit more interesting. It just makes it a little bit more adorable. And we love to see stuff like weird little quirk things like that. And I picked up on that and I was just like, that's stunning. That's funny the way that he does that. Also, when the first time he discovers like he's on an iPhone and he's shooting content and he's like, what is cinematic mode, right? And he's like, oh, they should have never let me have that. And then all of a sudden he's trying to do a couple things with that and the dog. And it's just kind of like, it brings a smile to your face because he has this general joy and wonderment that is just very like, oh, what's this? Oh, what's that? And you know that like this gentleman has like access to all this stuff, all the cool stuff at his fingertips. And he's just like, what's this button do? I don't know. I'm going to sleep in a hammock and I'm going to be really excited about it. And he has like, I don't know, golden retriever energy if I've ever seen it and had to classify it. He's just very like, oh. And so there's something very lovable and endearing and sweet and young about this young naivete that's just like, oh, I'm going to make it. And he's so confident. He's like, yeah, I'm going to make it across, the country. And even when you're sitting there, yelling at your phone or computer and being like, why didn't you just buy a plane ticket? Why didn't you just do this? And then you're like, wow, I am invested. I have an invisible hook in me and I am going to watch every single second that he puts out. And that's when you know that they've done like such a good job. You didn't know you got worked. You know what I mean? It's psychological warfare and we all got worked and we enjoy the ride along the way. So, and this is coming from someone, again, like I said, I didn't really know him. I can't say it that I was a fan of him. And I'm fascinated. I got the hook in me for this. So I can only imagine what it's like for the people who already knew who he was and was a fan. Like they're rooting. They're excited for it. Yeah, so I know he's been creating a long time. I know he had like because even his wife also has multiple million subscribers on her channel. They're both very young. They're both very well off. I believe at one point they were even going to do a couples channel and they were going to do renovations, I think. And that's all I remember is because a lot of the time when some of those video people were starting to talk about them about this, they had made some waves or headlines and waves in the online community because they got married real young. And so I think there were some people out there being like, you shouldn't buy a house together. You shouldn't do this. You shouldn't be in a rush to get married. And I'm like, wow, if you don't want to get married real young, maybe don't marry someone real young. It's interesting to me that while we're all well-intentioned that way, that we feel the need to just word vomit online or in video about other people's lives when they're all adults. Okay. I'm also going to tell you guys a little story today that happened to me, because there's like 5 of you here, so it's okay, we're friends. You're my friends. Yeah, Ane has been here since 100 subscribers, so you guys are my friends. You know that I have a tendency to either over-explain myself or try to make people understand why I'm doing something or see my point of view or something in that way. And it happened to me today again, where apparently I had a problem and I made it worse. Are you guys proud of me? I had a problem and I made it worse. So let's just jump into it, as Phil DeFranco would say. So it turned out that I sent a message to my friend Gwen. I know, hashtag Shelly Storytime. Anyone who was looking for the Ryan Trahan stuff, it is now done. Timestamp it. Someone timestamp it. And then I'll know to put in a chapter that if you don't care about the Ryan Trahan stuff, or if you do, then stop listening here. But wow, today's been a busy day, y'all. I gotta tell you, I feel like it's been like 9 million things that have happened today. But basically, I sent a message to Gwen, my co-host on the Thursday live streams. And I was thinking, I was like, wow, we really got to get her big, beautiful brain out on display. And she never gets to like really show off what she does. It's very secret squirrel stuff. And in fact, I had a conversation in the DM with, so Judah from TubeBuddy, and I messaged him and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I saw you in a full length, TubeBuddy video. I'm so happy for you. Congrats. How's it feel? Blah, 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 all this stuff." And so we were chatting and he was saying something about like, "Oh my gosh, I was actually just going to message you because you had an interview on your channel with this lady and blah, blah, blah. And she's, I just don't see her a lot, but I know she's really smart." And I'm like, "Which lady?" And yours is one of the only videos that came up. And I was like, "What lady?" And he's like, "Oh yeah, her name's Gwen." And I'm like, you know that we used to work together, right? Like technically she was part of Ben, like she was part of our extended family. But thank you. 31 minutes in, we're going to talk about something else now. And he's like, we just, and it's true, we didn't really ever get to really chat with her, but she's brilliant and now she works over at Hearst. Y'all know that. But I was like, yeah, she's so smart. And he's like, yeah, the live stream with her where she was breaking apart your channel or something. It's one of the only times I've actually seen her do an interview. And I'm like, "Oh, is that right?" Like, I don't know. And he's like, "She's so smart." And I'm like, one of these days I should get her back on. And you know how I told you all that I had told her that I was thinking of republishing all of my editing tutorials and putting them back online. And actually, I did go back and look at the date that I privated them. It wasn't January 1st, it was in February. So it hasn't been as long as I thought it was. And so I was telling you all like, "Hey, I think I'm going to put them all back." And then, when I said, "Oh, I think that she's going to do some data runs on this, blah, blah, blah." And so I messaged her and I was like, "Hey, do you want to come on a Thursday and just talk advanced data analytics?" And if you don't know Gwen, like not only is she senior VP of content strategy, she's like this data goddess. She's also spoken at VidCon Abu Dhabi, so she's an international speaker. And, she knows tons of things about not only analytics, but ways to correspond analytics to human behavior. And so I was like, "We should really showcase your brain." So I said, "Do you want to come on?" And she's like, "Yes, let's do it." I'm like, "Sweet." I'm like, "You want to come on next Thursday?" Because we have our podcast episode we'll be recording anyway Thursday. We, take a water break and then we come back for the show. She's like, "Yeah, let's do it." And I'm like, "Oh, sweet." So what does my enthusiastic ass do? I jump on the Bluebird machine and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, y'all, Gwen, I am just agreed to do a YouTube live with me about advanced data analytics, blah, 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 this stuff." And I was super stoked about this, right? And then one of the replies that came through was like this quote tweet, tweet quote, quote tweet, that was like something more like, Yeah, that's great, but what do you think about Roe v. Wade? And, uh and then the other one was from Renee Ritchie, who was like, "Yay, I'm so excited. Gwen's a boss." She's a boss. And I was like, "Yeah." And so the other one was so out of left field for me. And I was just like, "Okay. Well, one, if you go through my like tweet like history, it should be very apparent how I feel about that. And if you go through my actual tweets, I feel like you would also know." But I was like, "Wow, what a strange way to hijack a conversation thread about YouTube data analytics." But for what it's worth, I think it's like disgusting that guns have more rights than women currently in this country, which is weird. And then it became this whole thing. And then I was like, just because I happened to be on Twitter, and I was just like, not for nothing, but like there are lots of reasons why someone wouldn't respond to you, maybe like demanding to know how they feel about something. And I get it. It's like very insightful. I'm not riotous, but like it's a very hot topic right now, right? Especially if you happen to be in the camp that like is like, "Oh my gosh, yay, let's go backwards 50 years. This is fantastic." You may not want to be too vocal about it online because you could in this avalanche of like, rightfully so, but people and brands, there are starting to be brands. I'm sorry, I have lost like everyone. The four of you that are here, you're the real ones. So we rock hard together, okay? And what I'm clumsily trying to say is I wanted to try and explain. I'm like, "Hey, I am going to tell you my opinion on this." And I think I just did. It should be fairly clear. But like, just because you happen to tweet at someone, it doesn't mean that they owe you a response. And then I said, and furthermore, there could be multiple reasons why they don't respond. It could be they don't even run their social media. It could be that they're not even on social media, really. It could be that they don't agree with your stance. It could be they don't want to speak publicly about their stance. It could be so many reasons. And I understand that you expect a response, but that's kind of one, that's an expectation that you have, which really isn't fair. And two, it puts a lot of people in a very uncomfortable spot. Either they don't want to talk about it, or if they do, they know that it could be twisted, or you know what I mean? And how people choose to use their own platforms, I think should kind of be up to them, because you have all these people being like, "You're not talking loud enough about this topic, and you're not talking," like there could be like you can't demand that people do these things with their own platforms when they've built up that audience that they're either trying to protect, curate, or whatever else. And there are some things that are universal, right? Like we should be nice to each other, and we should all have basic human rights, and that includes reproductive rights. And we should be able to love who we want to love and live where we want to live, and have health care and benefits and stuff like that. Like, but just because I am vocal or I want to say those things, it doesn't mean that the person next to me doesn't also believe those things. They're just not making it known publicly, And I said, and you also don't know if these people behind the scenes, you could have people who are mouthpieces and saying, like, "I totally believe these things," and then behind closed doors are voting, "Absolutely no. Absolutely. I don't believe that at all." Or you could have people saying nothing and behind closed doors are donating, whether anonymously or whatever, as is their right, to all the causes that they want to help support, but they don't want to put that out publicly either. So it's a narrow point of view, in my opinion, to be frustrated and upset that someone doesn't want to either respond publicly to you on a very public platform. And so it's like you want to be mad that they didn't respond, or you can be mad that they responded in a way that you didn't like. So you see where it's already this like no-win situation for a lot of people going into it. And I was trying to make these thoughts like well known, and like, and then after a while they were like, "You know what? I shouldn't have even asked. You should stop. Like you're," and I was like, I'm trying to have a conversation with you. I'm trying to like help you like maybe consider some of these other points, and I'm not trying to like make you feel bad, and I apologize if I hate the "if you feel that way, I'm sorry." But like I was just trying to be like, here are some other viewpoints to think about. But I think they got really upset. I think they got really upset at me, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to back off. But like inside, I'm like, understand me. But that's just another instance today where I should not be allowed to talk to fellow humans, apparently online or in real life, because not only do I open mouth and switch feet, but I cannot clearly communicate with written word, because then they like got upset saying like I responded with, a tweet and then you came back with a wall. Like I had like, 4 because I was trying to like break them up, and like I'd respond and then I would say something, I would respond, and I was trying to build a lit like a response, where it keeps going like a thread. I was trying to build a thread, but then I would get a notification that maybe they had responded. So then I respond to something and then I go back to my thread and I keep trying to like build my thread. And then I think they got upset saying that I was like badgering them. And so I was just like, but I'm on your side. So it really was one of those where I'm just like, I shan't be allowed to converse with people on Twitter because apparently I just do it poorly. That's my story. I cannot wield power and responsibility responsibly, apparently. So it's a good thing that my channel has never blown up and I have tons of people watching, because it would just be more people to misunderstand me. But the 4 of you that are here understand my heart and know what I'm trying to say. You guys and gals understand my heart. But I did feel bad. And then I was just like, I kept wanting to be like, no, I don't think like we're on the same page. But we're just in different books right now. So I think they just got upset with me, and I was like, okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. So there's that. Have you guys had instances like that where you think you're agreeing with someone or you think you're furthering something forward and it just splendiferously explodes in your face? Let me know if it's just a special talent that I have. Anyways, okay. Is there stuff that y'all would like to talk about? We don't have to talk about Ryan Trahan. We can talk about not my Twitter tweets. Anything that y'all want to chat about? Mm? Mm? Let me know. I think there's quite a bit of a delay between what I've got going on and what you guys get, because I think in my playback window, I have it where I'm just picking up the cup and sipping on my tea, which was a good while ago. So there's that. There's that. Let me know. Let me know. Good story time. Thank you. Sammy, I think you were here on Thursday, right? And I was talking about how, ironically, it's not ironic at all. I happen to think that I am a horrible storyteller. I have no ability to stay on track. Y'all know this. Sometimes Post-its don't even do it for me, y'all. And I sometimes have a hard time connecting all the dots in the story that I'm trying to get out with all the points. And so you'll walk away from a story being like, what was the point of that? And I was like, oh, but I did have reasons. There was a thought process on and train that ended up going nowhere. So if you are watching this stream and you have not yet put on a thumbs up, I would appreciate it, because it says there's 9 and 9 thumbs ups, and I would like to get to 10. I would like to break double digits. Okay. I don't ask much. Okay. I would like to get to 10. Suffice it to say, coming back to the point that I am a horrible storyteller because I cannot stay on task. I cannot finish the story time. I very frequently leave people more confused than when the story started. And it is a skill that I am actively, I hesitate to say am working on, but I am acutely aware of my shortcoming, and I am fixing to make a plan, which is false, to get better at it, she says. with a question mark. Okay, there's that. Okay, James DeLong says, I just try to remain mute. At one point, I wanted to be polarizing, and then I felt it wasn't worth it. Yeah, I think it's interesting because it could be easier in some ways to be contrarian, against the grain in a lot of things. But for myself, I feel a lot of pressure to have people understand where I'm coming from. So for me, trying to constantly battle back and forth around like, no, see it from my angle. And they don't, they just get mad at me. It's just like taking my nightmare and then multiplying it and calling it a growth strategy. It's not for me. It's not for me, okay? So, um, yeah, I'm with you. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It pinged over to 10. Double digits. Double digits. Double digits for the thumbs uppies. Thank you. Thank you. Exactly. When I was like, I don't ask for much, people. Just give me a thumbs up on this and my horrible story time. Thank you. Pixelpia, thank you so much for being here. How's your sister? Please let me know how that's going. To answer your question, Sammy Superstar, how am I liking Wave.Video? So for those of you who don't know, I am testing out Wave.Video in conjunction today with Ecamm Virtual Cam. So I'm using Ecamm Virtual Cam because, is it over here? Nope, it's over here. This little guy is a widget. And then I also have another widget that's installed where if somebody becomes like a channel member or does a super chat or something like that, it's supposed to come on screen with like a little fun animation. So that's really cool. Wave.Video does not yet support widgets. And in fact, I made a post in one of the Facebook groups about Wave.Video because I am newer to it and I'm trying to learn it. And I feel like I've only scratched the surface because I've only really done some of the live streaming stuff, and live streaming is part of it. Wave is also a lot to do with the asset creation, whether it's social media posts or thumbnails or what else. And I have not actually dived into any of that yet. I feel like I really need to do that. And so as far as the live streaming stuff, it has an interface very similar to Restream. And it's like, Sammy knows this. This is for the other people who don't. I'm at 720. That is not cool. Okay, actually, that's one of the things I don't like about it. Even when you select 1080, supposedly, it doesn't hold on to the settings sometimes. So I think every once in a while, like, I have to ask. I'm like, am I in 1080 right now? Am I in 1080? But Wave.Video is like if Restream and Canva had a baby. Okay. And what I mean is I didn't forget to put it at 1080. I did put it at 1080, Dr. Elo. I did it both in the room setting, the camera setting. It's supposed to, because there's no save button. So you think it's doing it, but is it? I don't know. So we're going to put this in the con category. The pro, though, was you can build multiple scenes similar to like Ecamm or OBS. And so if you want to have stuff with different layouts or different backgrounds or different overlays, you can easily kind of achieve that in Wave and then kind of select them. So I do like that. I don't like so far that they don't support more than 1080. Okay. I do like that they have support for like 12 guests, similar to like Restream. Ecamm, you're limited to 4 and 4 on you. I do not like, they don't yet support green screen, but I know that they're working on it. I do like that they have the integrated support with the stuff like Facebook pages and LinkedIn and Twitch. They do not yet have the Twitter replacement that I've seen. I have not yet been successfully able to connect through Wave.Video into Amazon via the RTMP link, although I was told that there is going to be a software update that's going to be pushed out next week, which should hopefully fix that. So I'll report back on that. I also asked them for a couple of other updates because I was in that group and I'm like, hey, if I'm going to be looking at this and if I'm going to, use this program. The other con so far, and they said that it should have a fix soon, is that it does not properly yet represent emotes or emoticons from Twitch correctly. So it will say the name of the emote. It'll be like Shelly Saves the Day 05 coffee cup multiple times. And you can imagine if you have like a big string of emoticons or emotes, whatever you call it, and you have a whole bunch of them, it'll say like photo look Hawaii 59 clap, photo look Hawaii 59 flower, photo. So like if you go back and look at some of the streams, it's just this like long ass text string of all of these different emote strings, basically, or their titles. So I don't like that they have not been able to support that yet, but it looks like they're going to be able to soon-ish. Hey, Tech King Mike is in the house. Tech King Mike was also live streaming an impromptu live stream, and I was also doing an impromptu live stream. So let me go back and just check something really quickly, because I did put in second here, a few things that I was looking for inside of my post when I was saying, hey, second attempt, couldn't connect to Amazon. Is there something I'm doing wrong? Any tips? And that's when they let me know that there's a software update. So let me put in, it says Wave. And I'm saying this not so I bash on them, so that I share with you this information if y'all are looking for like a new program or stuff like that. So, okay. So I had asked displaying emoticons from Twitch instead of the string and title text. Said plans for supporting external widgets, green screen support, being able to add and drop destinations in studio, because if you are in like StreamYard or Restream, a lot of the time you can add additional destinations while you're in studio, or you could cut off and leave from one, like end the YouTube one and stay on Facebook or, something like that. And there doesn't seem to be that yet. And then I said, is there any, the biggest thing that would make me leave Restream as my pusher outer of multicasting stuff, I said, is there a similar pairing feature like Restream offers on your roadmap? So I'm asking the questions for y'all. And if you guys don't know, guys and gals, what the pairs is, if someone has a show, an in-studio show that they're doing inside of Restream, if they have guests on the show, something like that, you can pair that stream with someone else's YouTube channel without having and needing any credentials, really. Then that's how I push out my version of the podcast that we're doing on Thursday. So technically it's Dane's Restream account and we're all in the studio. I pair my channel and end destinations, and then I can have them as additional endpoints. So even though it's going to Dane's YouTube channel on Video, it's also coming to my YouTube channel. It's coming to my LinkedIn. It's coming to my Facebook. It's coming to my Twitter, right? So I was like, do you have pairs yet? The other thing that they also have, I did not ask, I forgot to ask, RTMP poll. I don't think anyone else really has that yet. So they have RTMP poll as well over in Restream. So I did get a message back and I was told emotes, yes, they're working on it. Okay. Number 2 was for the external widgets. They said they're exploring them, but it's distant and unlikely that it would be soon, which is not a big deal because I can use certainly eCam and virtual cam to bring them in. Totally cool. Green screen, yes, they will. And I remember that it took a while for Restream to even add green screen. Do you guys remember that? So I have a green screen behind me that I pull up from the floor. It's like its own one in a case that you just pull up and supports itself, because y'all have seen me try to fold the green screen. It's bad, y'all. It's bad. It's currently unwrapped as a window light blocker. It's up there, unfurled as is. Because I'm not putting that sucker back in the little bag. Okay. Okay, moving on. Are you going to be able to add and drop destinations while in studio? Because the only way that you can do it, you have to leave the studio, go back out to your event, edit it, add a new destination, resave everything, and then pop into the studio again. So that's very unlike Restream or even StreamYard. So they said yes. And then the last one is they're going to be a similar pairing feature like there is on Restream. And they said yes. So, and then the other one was they release an update next week, which should supposedly address the Amazon live stream issue. So I'll be doing some test live streams over on Amazon next week or the next week. You know what I mean? When they say that they have fixed that so that I can test that. So we'll see if that's true. Long story long, so far I like it. I need to go into all of the graphical things. I feel like it might be a fun type of experiment or ask to have Chad or someone maybe come in to give me a tour of some of the graphic stuff. So that might be, I should ask him. I'm sure he'd come on. So there's that. Thank you for the iced coffee, Pixelpia. Sammy Superstar is laughing at me for some reason. I'm not sure. Dr. Elo is also laughing at me for some reason. I'm not sure. I'm gonna try not to take it personally. Sammy Superstar says Wave.Video is very new, but they are working on it. Yeah, and I gotta say I'm fairly impressed because I had purchased a live streaming package from a company through AppSumo, and it's like a lifetime deal, but the rate at which they push out content updates and so far the abilities that they have not made me happy that I spent that amount of money that I did. Even if it is a lifetime deal, I've used it very infrequently. And in fact, when I did, some of the quality was pretty awful. And I would fill out information being like, this was not good, or this did not happen, or I can't choose some of these features and I don't want to use this. And they were somewhat receptive, but I will say they have not been as receptive as other companies that I've worked with by leaving comments, I guess, if you want to say worked with, or, communicated feedback to. So there's that. Yeah, Chad would totally come. I have no doubt. I'm sure he'd be great. Did I tell y'all about one of my interactions with Chad? They are, oh my gosh, it's so classic. It's one of my favorite memories, actually, from Podfest as well. One of my favorite memories is we were going to a party, and it was hosted by a company called Mopao. Mopao. I think it was Mopao. And the party, one of the ways that you got in was having this bracelet, right? And of course, it can't just be any bracelet. It's one of those slap bracelets. And so, first of all, you could only get the bracelets at a certain booth or a desk or something like that. So even though you were at the booth talking to the people, they would be like, oh, you have to go up to this booth. Why it wouldn't be at the booth where they're actually representing themselves? Nope. You got to go customer service to get a different booth. And it's not just customer service for them. It's customer service for the whole entire conference, right? And it's also on a different level than the main floor where all the events and the talks and everything in the expo hall was. So you had to go out of your way to go back up to this area. Just very inconvenient because it's a 1.5 mile walk down all of these hallways and everything. My first world problems, y'all. So they were like, yeah, make sure you go get your bracelet. And I'm like, you're seriously telling me you don't have one of the bracelets here at the booth? And they're like, no, we don't, like the booth people. And they're like, oh my gosh, it's just a short walk. And I'm like, listen, Susie, I've been down the hallway a few times. It's not that short of a walk. Don't lie to me. So Chad, bless his heart. He was like, oh, well, I have to go up there anyway. And you want me to go grab you a bracelet? And I was like, heck yeah, I do. Thank you so much. I realized that some people have like a knight in shining armor. I had a knight with a hat named Chad. And so I was like, thank you so much. Thank you, Chad. Thank you. And so he ends up coming back, and we see that it's a slap bracelet. And what do you do with a slap bracelet? You don't gently place it on someone. I don't know what it is, but Chad decides at that moment, he's like, flick of the wrist. And it's not just like, it's like a bam, that sucker's on there. And I don't know what it was like made out of, like what kind of material it's made out of, but it was not like the slap bracelets of like my childhood. Okay, it wasn't like this thin, flexible, which was kind of like the uh, tape measuring, right? Or just a little flick of the wrist, and it's just like wrapping it. Like it was like getting hit with the ruler first, and then finding out that like after your blood gets into it, softens enough to come around your wrist. Am I exaggerating? Yeah. But did it hurt? Yeah, it did. It hurt. Okay. Great story. What did I tell you? I suck at storytelling. But I'm like, oh, sweet. But ow. Anyways, so I kept razzing him this entire, because that was like on night 1 or 2, and I was down there, 4 days. And so I kept razzing him this whole time, being like, cops are coming for you for assault and battery, and he'd be like, oh, great, but can we do it like on the last day? So it just, doesn't mess up the rest of my plans. And I would be like, listen, when I'm ready to call the cops, you'll know. I don't care when it's convenient for you. Stuff like that. And then on the last day, or the second to last, I think it was the last day actually. There were actually cops at the hotel. There were lights and sirens and stuff going on. And I'm like, Chad, I told you, it's the last day. They're coming for you. And he's like looking at me, and we're just kind of, laughing and smiling at each other. And then I came back and I was like, I was thinking about it. I talked with the cops, and to be truthful, they said that, it's just a slap on the wrist. And I had been waiting to say that to him for like 2 days, y'all. And I could not think of a better time and a better way to say it than it's just a little slap on the wrist. They decided not to arrest you today because it's, just a little slap on the wrist. And his face, y'all, when he was like, it's freaking brilliant. And I was like, well, thank you. I know, but I know. And so we always have that moment to look back and laugh and be like, it's just a little slap on the wrist. Because come on, that is like the creme de la creme moment right there of like puns and like the setting with the cops. Like you cannot get better than that. I'm sorry, you can't for a good moment like that. So that's my story about the slap bracelet and Chad, who is the one who introduced me to Wave.Video. And technically, to be fair, there were a couple people from Wave.Video that were there at VidFest, and we did chat briefly, but everything I mainly learned was from Chad, because I was like, no, I don't want to set up like a conference call to learn about, like, I want to get in there. I want to start playing with buttons. I want to start having questions when I have questions and like post them. Like I want to learn it from me coming in, having expectations or questions and wanting to like figure it out. So it's not the same if someone is going to try and take you through this entire guided tour. So I was just like, nope. Tom Buck would be proud. Tom Buck, right? He would be proud of me. So that's my special moment with Chad, though, is so if the next time you see him, right, you'd be like, it's just a little slap on the wrist. That's what we have. We'll, how some people are like, we'll always have Paris. We'll always have, it's just a slap on the wrist. Matthew Pate or Pate. What's up, dude? How are you? Thanks for coming through in the live stream. Thanks for being a subscriber, at least for 5 minutes, because that is the rule. I believe it's right now currently, if you've been a subscriber for at least 5 minutes, you can comment and say hi. And the reason why we do that is because sometimes it can help with reducing the amount of bots that can come through and possibly spam you, because they have to realize they have to be subscribed to you, and it's just extra headache for them. So that's the only reason we do it, is because it makes it a little more difficult for the bots. Is there anything that y'all would like to talk about? I'm so sorry. Oh wait, you were talking about you asked me my thoughts on Wave.Video. Those are my initial thoughts on Wave.Video. So far, I like it. I like some of the improvements that I hear are coming. I like that they have the integration already with creating video and photo and social media post type assets. So I need to play with all of that. I'm not mad about the widgets. I do like the interview mode. I think that there's some cool stuff in studio, and I like that they have the built out scenes and stuff like that. So far, there's a lot that I like about it. I like it so far better than StreamYard, I will say. You guys know, even though I love the people at StreamYard, I have never been able to make my StreamYard look great. So, yeah. And for the last, last few years, I've been using Ecamm in conjunction with Restream. Currently, I'm doing Ecamm Virtual Cam into Wave.Video as this test. I am so excited, though, for the version 4.0, waiting with bated breath for Ecamm because native multi-streaming? Yes, please. But if you do have situations where you'd like to have more than the 4 people on screen, for interview mode or whatnot, then Wave.Video or Ease and Simplicity still might be a reason to look into it. Okay, I'm gonna come back over here. Oh, you want to talk about Amazon? Okay. Interesting that you should ask. When I told y'all today that I felt like 9 million things have happened today, 9 million for me, because y'all know I hardly ever leave the house. Today was a rare exception, very rare exception. I actually left the house today, y'all. I know. So most days, I don't leave the house unless it's just to walk the dogs. I work from home. I stay home. Yeah, I don't leave. But today was this rare exception because my friend is moving to another state. And today was her going away party. That date can't move. She's leaving. There's like a truck and stuff. It's happening. So it's one of those like, you come see me now or you're not going to see me in this state for the foreseeable future. And I was like, well, that'll do it. That would be a reason to leave the house. So I'll haul my cookies to downtown. And speaking of cookies, this is why I'm a horrible storyteller, because I can never stick with it. We're going to stick a pin in it real quick. There were chocolate chip cookies there, and I brought 2 home. Thank you. Chocolate chip cookies are the best cookies of all the cookies, and that's why they make the best for like the Oreo or like the sandwiches with the ice cream in them, and warm chocolate chip cookies from the oven that are slightly chewy are the most supreme cookie in all of the world. Thank you. That's my hill and I'll die on it. So we went to this party. There were chocolate chip cookies there and we were hanging out on the rooftop deck. The weather's really nice. And I'm like, wow. So this is the world. This is that thing's a sun. Bright, sunshiny object up there coming down on me with all this heat. And so I was there. And then I was like, how often am I actually right here in the middle of downtown? Not very often. Well, obviously, because I leave my house. That's a lie. I leave my house once a week. I have dance team practice once a week. So I do leave my house for a couple of hours. Other than that, though, no, I'm pretty much, I hardly leave this room. And so I was like, hey, you know what else is down here? The camera shop. Does Shelly need a new camera? Absolutely not. Nope. Did that stop Shelly from going to the camera shop? Also, no. I went to the camera shop, and you know why? Because 1, the camera shop is air conditioned. It's hot. Okay. Number 2, there's free parking to go to the camera shop, and that is almost unheard of in Seattle. It's free shopping, free parking while you're shopping. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I was like, well, it's meant to be. I'm here. The shop is in this city. Here I am. So I went to the camera shop. And one of the reasons that I like this camera shop, they have a really big used camera and lens section. So I went in there, took a little peek-see. What am I always looking for? I'm looking for a really cheap A7S III. Okay. I'm always looking for a very cheap A7S III. Never find one, but I might one of these days. I did see one in the Sony buy and sell group. It was a really good price, but it's not cheap. Okay. And I want a cheap one. If I just keep waiting it out, one of these days it's going to happen. Thank you so much. And so I left because very few used camera bodies, and they were A7 IIs and mainly the RX100, like the little point and shoot cameras. Very few cameras in stock in general, and then some lenses, but none that one I could afford, or obviously I want them all. But yeah, it just wasn't in the cards for me. Although 24 to 70 G Master lens was there, and it was, it was like, I want it, and it was staring at me, and I was staring at it. And she was saying, take me home. And I was like, listen, I'm not that type of girl, but I could be for you, but not at that price. So I just left her in the display cage and I went home. And I was very proud of myself. I was in and out of that shop in like 30 minutes. I was like, there's nothing here that I really like am going to buy. But it was nice to sit in the air conditioning for a moment. Okay. So here I am now. I've gone to a rooftop party. I've gone camera shopping. Did I do anything else? I did this live stream. Yeah. And, yeah, maybe that's it. That's a big day for me. Okay. Shelly's exhausted. But, oh no, I am a liar. There was something else. Okay. I had to get home. One of the reasons that I also jetted out of there was because there was a Seattle video creators virtual meetup today, which I participated and joined in on. Yeah. So I had a conference call today. And the reason that I also bring that up, so I've had so much interaction today with humans, it's not even funny. One of the reasons that we were chatting at the end, it was a little happy hour of sorts. We were talking about Amazon Video. So because we were talking about Amazon Video, it's like, it's funny that you should mention that, asking about Amazon Video, because I was just talking about that an hour or two ago. Is that the most roundabout story you have probably ever heard? Yeah. Is it the most roundabout story you've ever heard from me? Probably no. No, we've gotten here in record time. To the point, to the point. So to answer your question, yes, let's talk about Amazon Video. And I was trying to talk about it during the video creators meetup, being like, I don't know what you guys are doing with your life, but if you're not doing Amazon Video, it wasn't quite that bad. But this guy was already approved for the Amazon influencer program, which, if you don't know, is that second tier, right, from Amazon Associates and then influencer, right? So they are separate programs, but, and I was like, oh, you already have been approved. And he's like, yeah, and I don't really use it. And I'm like, you know how many people trying to be approved, even at that level, to get into Amazon influencer program? And I was like, you are, and I'm like, he's like, I don't want to do it. It's just another platform and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, hey, if you don't like making money, that's, yeah, don't look at it. Hey, more for me. And I was like, but also you have things in your shop that you sell that are expensive, and you have unbridled access to so many expensive items in your shop that you could make videos on and make money. Passive money. Because I'm like, you're not having to make these videos to encourage people to buy. You could literally give them a tour of one of the products that you have sitting in your warehouse right now. That sucker could be 40 seconds long with a voiceover, with some A-roll shot on a phone, and you could be making money. And you're gonna say it's not worth your time. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. And I said, hey, if you don't want to do it, can you get someone in your shop to shoot some of these videos and just send them over my way? I will make the videos and reap all of what you sow. Thank you so much. All of that being said, let's talk about Amazon Influencer Video. Amazon Influencer Video also is uber important right now, because you need your videos to be up and running before Prime Day and the such is starting to happen. Prime Day is going to be July 12th and 13th. But we all know that there's like a week coming up to it that has all kinds of cool deals, and it goes actually until like the 24th, 25th, something like that. It's like there's just tons of specials and stuff. And for that time period, anyone who's involved in the Amazon influencer program, they have increased commission percentages on multiple categories, like 8 different categories. And instead of like 3%, it's like 6%, or 4%, it's 8%. You know, obviously some of these are different, but it's like, excuse me, what? More people are going to be on the site and shopping, and we're going to make more money. Yes. Thank you. I'll take all of that with a big scoop of hell yes. Thank you so much. So there are limited time higher rates starting July 4th and upping standard rates on a variety of popular categories. So they actually sent out an email to the influencers and associates. I believe you should have gotten this, about 10 things that you can do to earn more on Prime Day. So let's go through it together, because I haven't actually read this email yet, and we might as well. And you asked the question. You may be sorry that you asked the question now. But alas, here we are. We're going forward. 1, plan for success. Make a Prime Day hub. What's a Prime Day hub? Keep reading, Shelly. She's going to tell you. Create a single page for all of your Prime Day recommendations. Okay, so it's an idea list, including a description of your favorite promotions and deals. Whenever posting content about Prime Day, be sure to drive traffic to your hub using links or hashtags to maximize shopping opportunities. Not a bad idea. Thank you so much. And then you could take that link and then have a swipe up in your Instagram story and be like, shop on my Amazon Prime Day recommendations. You could also do a live stream about all those recommendations, granting hopefully that you have those items. The wheels are turning. Okay, here we go. Oh, it says hype Amazon Prime memberships, because your followers need a Prime membership to take advantage of Prime Day. So encouraging Prime should be a key part of your prep strategy. And you earn $3 commission for every free trial sign up, including a Prime student and Audible. So that's actually interesting thought, because I have these like workout shirt tank tops that I sell tons of every day, but each one of them is like 31 cents. So I still need to sell 10 t-shirts to get the $3 that I would get if I just had someone do a free trial of Amazon Prime. So there you go. If you are going to be like, hey, Amazon Prime Day is coming up, you need to have Amazon Prime, click here for a free trial. $3. This is like selling 10 tank tops. There we go. Okay. Number 3. If you're getting value from this, can I get a thumbs up in the chat? Thank you so much. Or on this stream, we're still sitting at 11. And I'm asking you, I am once again asking you to the YouTubey things. Thank you so much. Number 3, set up notifications to track the latest deals. Prime Day features millions of deals globally, and they move fast. So set up notifications on the Amazon mobile app and quickly add links to the products your followers will love into your recommendations, or just say, Alexa, keep me updated on Prime Day. I guess there's a skill that you could probably. There we go. All right. Next, it says, thank you so much, Luis. You're a real one. You're a real one. Thank you. Okay. Number 4, pinpoint your followers' interests, review past events, promotion, and deals to predict what your audience might love next. Consider trending categories like devices, toys, beauty, home, and Prime Video. Look at your followers' purchases. Oh, okay. And in your earnings report in Associates Central, you could poll your audience on social media to find out what they're looking for on Prime Day. And don't forget to head over to the Idea Hub to check out customer most loved bestsellers, bounties, and real-time deals. Okay, that's number 4. That's it? That's only the 1 thumbs up from Mr. Camera Junkie? Do you want me to keep reading the points, or you're just be like, Screw it, I'll go look at my own email. Number 5, maximize your commission potential by uploading videos in bulk, or just uploading videos if you haven't gotten started. Enrich your Amazon storefront by publishing your product reviews, buying guides, and unboxing videos. It's interesting that they do say unboxing videos because some people kind of like poo-paw on them. I love unboxing videos. You are eligible to earn affiliate commissions on qualifying purchases, and now you can bulk upload on a desktop up to 15 videos at once, and videos don't need to be exclusive to Amazon. Yeah, mine are not. I am definitely working on getting all of my Amazon videos up onto a new YouTube channel, which last time I checked, y'all, I have like 79 subscribers over there. Well, let me go look real quick. It's Shelly Shops Online. It was originally got it on Amazon, but I didn't want to get in trouble for having my name tied to Amazon. Oh, you know what? My channel banner art, I haven't changed it yet. It still says got it on Amazon. Oops. I need to change that. Not bad. So I have 79 subscribers, and the only thing I'm doing right now currently is re-uploading videos that I've made for Amazon shoppable videos onto here. I'm doing this for a couple of reasons. One, if someone is to watch one of these videos, I don't know why you would. Okay. But watches it and then wants the product, I have a clickable affiliate link, a genius link that I'm trying to obviously get them onto Amazon so that they will purchase. Okay. The second reason that I'm doing this is because I want to have these videos in the system under the content ID system so that I'm made aware if other people take my videos and re-upload them onto their YouTube channels, because I need mine to be here, right? And the reason that's important is because we've already seen multiple instances where tons of these channels are being created where they just go into Amazon, steal a whole bunch of videos, then put their Amazon affiliate links into the description box and send people to Amazon using other people's videos. So they're just straight up stealing them. And you wouldn't know unless someone says, hey, Shelly, I saw your videos on some other YouTube channel or whatever else. So that's already happened like 8 times for tons of people that I know. Thankfully, none of mine yet have been there, but I want to get all of my videos up there so it's in the content ID system. Also, if I can get some extra Amazon associate revenue from it, great. Okay. Oh, got to get ready for your live stream? All right. See you later. See you later. Okay. And in fact, right now I'm uploading videos in bulk onto YouTube. I'm dropping them all in right now. And then as I have time, so I actually have like probably 50 videos in draft format where I have to go in and finish setting them up with, I do have a default description, but I end up finishing it with then the special genius link for that product. And then I publish over there. Okay. Matthew said, I'm also considering putting my videos on a dedicated channel as well. I've also considered making a dedicated Instagram. Yeah, I was also going to do a dedicated Instagram. I think I started one. Yes, the idea is I will upload the videos multiple places, so they'll end up on Pinterest. I was going to open a separate TikTok, and then I decided no. But they will live. I have a corresponding Instagram page. And then I have a Rivet site where basically it will take all of my YouTube videos and then puts them on my webpage for shellyshops.online. So it's also online, and I don't really have to do anything because it just automatically publishes all the videos that I publish from YouTube. So if you go to shellyshops.online, you also see the videos. And so now I have a webpage. I've got my YouTube channel. I will have a corresponding Instagram. Yeah, so there's all that. Okay, back to the list. Leading up to Prime Day. Number 6, create a social buzz around your Prime Day hub early. It is important. No, it is super important to keep a regular cadence and highlight key details leading up to the event. Remember, once followers click on your links to Amazon, you earn on any qualifying purchases they add to their cart within 24 hours and purchase within 89 days. Is the cookie that long? That's weird, but I'm sure it's just reset every time they watch someone else's video or click on anyone else's link. So use social tools like highlights, countdown clocks, and polls to engage your audience early. Oh. Number 7, make an opt-in Prime Day email list. Set reminders and real-time updates to your followers leading up to Prime Day. Don't forget to add the link to your Prime Day Hub page as well. That's actually a pretty good idea. Number 8, reach out early. Start early each morning of Prime Day by reaching out to your followers via social media and email. Direct them to your Prime Day Hub for recommendations, deals, and promotions. 9, check the Idea Hub for our Prime Day recommendations. These are hand-picked deals, and it should be easier to keep track with the latest trending deals. Picks are updated hourly. Be sure to visit the Idea Hub frequently throughout the day. Plus, keep checking the Prime Day page for live deals and content to increase your followers' traffic. I do get a little confused if you're doing the live streams, how you're not supposed to talk about products that you don't have. So I don't know if this is an exception where you can be like, oh my gosh, you have to look at this deal. Or if like Prime Day is like no holds barred, like, oh my gosh, look at all the things I'm going to buy. 10, keep your followers up to date. It says send updates throughout the event. Use email and social media to send real-time updates throughout the event, highlighting the incredible savings and deep discounts available worldwide. Remember, make sure to link your site or your hub only. Affiliate links should not be posted in any paid social ads or emails. You will not get credit for those sales. Interesting. Okay. Don't put any paid ads. You know what's funny about that? I have seen sponsored posts from people pushing like a vlogging camera. And I wonder if they tried to do that for a Prime Day deal, if they would see that and be like, this is a pushed advertisement. Nope. So I think that's interesting. And then I'm also going to tell you those categories. I'm so sorry if you're watching now and you don't give 2 little monkey toes rat's paws. I don't know the right saying. If you care not for Amazon influencer video, I'm sorry. I'm the worst. Table 1, fixed standard commission income rates for specific product categories. Here we go. Let's see here. So Amazon Games is 20%. Luxury Beauty has a 10%, but that's actually standard and it's not changing. Here we go. Here are the ones that are changed and upped. Kitchen goes from 4.5% to 8.5%. Luggage goes from 4% to 8%. You know, luggage could be a good one because a lot of people travel during summer. Personal care appliances goes from 4% to 8%. Electronics goes from 4% to 7%. Certain electronics, because certain electronics is like 1%. Home is going from 3% to 7%. Home improvement goes from 3% to 7%. Beauty goes from 3% to 7%. Oh, sweet. I've got a ton of beauty stuff. Automotive goes from 4.5% to 6.5%. Camera gear goes from 4% to 6%. Furniture goes from 3% to 6%. Sports goes from 3% to 5%. Lawn and garden goes from 3% to 4%. All other percentages remain the same. Sweet. Sweet. So, one, that's a little bit about Prime Day as it refers to influencers. Now we can actually talk about questions specific to Amazon influencer videos. If you actually wanted to chat about that, let's do that. 1 second. let me give you guys a song real quick while I take a drink and recover. That was a lot of reading, okay? Just give me a second. You know what? Let's boogie for real. Let me get on my dance. You guys can't hear it? Oh, it's so good. It's the funk one. Oh. Wow, what a waste. What a waste of a dance break, y'all. It's a good one. Dude, I'm so glad that I wasn't humming and singing along during that time. That would have been embarrassing. Thank you, Pixelpia. You're a real one. You guys did not let me know that there was no music. You guys let me go on for a while. Oh, I thought we were friends. Pixelpia is the only friend I have left, apparently, in this world. Dr. Elo, I'm so mad at you. I don't understand why it's not working, because I know earlier before when I hit the laugh track, did you guys hear that? There's no reason that the audio shouldn't have pumped through. Oh, that's weird. Okay, you know what? Just for funsies, let me do something else. You better be able to hear this one. You guys can hear this, right? How embarrassing. Dancing in silence. You know what? If we come back to something that I'm not super crazy about Wave.Video, I believe that I got a copyright claim for music inside of Wave.Video. That was not bueno. No bueno for that. So, no thank you. Okay. You were dancing too in silence. Oh, I'm so mad that you guys let me go on so long for that. Okay. So, coming back. You also get credit for some carts. Some carts. I'm not sure what you mean. They called mime dancing. You guys, it was also the one that always makes me think of D. Niman, because it's the Bring in the Funk one, which serves me right. You know what? Maybe I should try to bring in the, oh, I don't have my phone for it. The Creator Mix. I'm going to have to test that. So I found another kink in something I don't like in Wave.Videos. You couldn't even hear the audio. Wait, I'm going to hit the applause one and let me know if you can hear it. In 3, 2, 1. Do you guys hear that? The applause button. Did you hear it? Oh, I forgot the delay is like really, really long. Let me know if you heard the applause, okay? But I am lurking and working. No, that's fine. So I'm wondering if all of the sound effects aren't coming through, or only certain ones, or if they're coming from inside of eCam versus inside of the Stream Deck. Oh, you heard that one. Okay, cool. Interesting. So if I play this one, you should hear it. Anyways, okay, we were talking about influencer video. If you haven't gotten your first original 3 videos up, that's got to be the first thing that you do, because honestly, as the influencer program is growing or whatever else, those first 3 videos are taking some people anywhere from 1 week to 4, 5 weeks to initially get approved. And so that means you've, and another thing is only submit 3 videos. There's some people who upload like 40 videos, and then it turned out that their first 3 videos got rejected. And the only way that you can submit again is to delete all of your videos and then start again. So it doesn't really behoove you to upload them all unless you get approved. And then they all get approved. But then after approval, and it can take another 2 or 3 days for them to show up on the product page. And there's still no guarantee that they will show up on the product page. So there's that. So if you're brand new to the influencer video thing, like it needed to happen yesterday or a few weeks ago. And if you didn't do it then, you better do it today, because there's really not a lot of time left if you got to wait a couple weeks for that to happen. Like you might be able to still get in on some of the commissions where they're increased, but you've got to get through the video approval process and the second video approval process, and then the ability to show up on pages, and it has to ship. So you got a lot of work ahead of you if that's new. So there's that. Do you also get credit for? Yeah, you're supposed to. Yeah, so that absolutely doesn't surprise me at all. And so Matthew is saying that it took 3.5 weeks to get the videos approved. So, yep, that sounds about right. And in fact, I had gone through a thing, and I remember telling y'all, and some of you should know, right, where I had uploaded videos. They were approved through the first level, and then I'm trying to get into the second level to get approved for the on-site video placement, which is the one that means something. And it got denied. And then I took them down and I resubmitted new videos, and it got denied again. But every time I was doing it, it was 3 or 4 weeks in between. So this was months of trying to do this. And the reason why I had to open a new influencer account was because my old one had the accounting in the back end messed up, where they were attributing my sales to a closed shop. So I was never going to get paid. Long story, right? So they could never fix that one. I had to abandon that account. So I had a different influencer account that was approved. So I had to open a brand new influencer account and a brand new set of videos. It was really frustrating because the other one, I could upload the videos and they would just go through. And they were already approved for on-site placement, but I wasn't going to get paid for any of them. And then this other account over here where I would get paid for them, they're supposed to go to my correct account, but I couldn't get my videos approved, even though they were the same videos. I would take them down and then put them on the other. And it just wasn't working. So, and you only have 3 attempts at getting approved. And thankfully on the third one, I did get approved, and it's been off to the races since then. But that first initial setup, it took several months, because not only that, my influencer account had to be approved. And because I'd already used my YouTube channel to verify my first influencer account and get approved, I couldn't use that one. I don't have a significant following on anywhere else except for TikTok. And so I used TikTok as my account for my influencer account. And what they did not tell me is that with using TikTok to verify your account, they make you put a link in your bio to your shop. And it stayed like that for 3 weeks or something or more. And when you would click on it, it would go to this page does not exist. So for 3.5 weeks, trying to get my influencer account approved through my TikTok, I had to link a broken link in my bio, the only bio link that I had in TikTok. Such a mess. It was such a mess. And then even after finally getting approved for the program, then going through 3 rounds of getting my videos approved, right? So frustrating when my other account was good to go, except couldn't get paid. This one, trying to get it off could not get it, like the first 3 videos approved and submitted. So it was tough, man. It was really, really tough. But ever since then, it's been pretty good. I will say that I wish they had some better reporting metrics, historical reporting metrics as well. And for me, I haven't found that live streaming has worked exceedingly well for me. I have, several hours worth of live streaming over there, and with it, 11 actual products sold, and I made like $3, right? Whereas if I spent the 4 hours or whatever it is instead of live streaming, but creating product videos, I'd get way more than $3. So for me, the cost benefit and ROI scale, unless I have way more people on a live stream, I make more money from the shoppable videos, and I choose to spend my time making more shoppable videos than I do dedicating time to live streaming. So, all right. So Matthew has some advice. I'm gonna put it up on screen. It says, don't say anything about socials. Don't display socials. Don't mention prices or show QR codes. Just talk about products And oh, look at that. If your comment is too long, you get an ellipses at the end. Ah, Wave, what are you doing? I don't like that. I don't like that at all. It says, just talk about the product, have good audio and good lighting. So it's interesting because I actually try to make my videos look almost as amateurish as possible. I shoot them on my iPhone. I shoot them shakily. There are no transitions. There are no, there's nothing, there's a lot of, there's lights on it so you can see it, but there's nothing else. And then I rip out the audio and I do a voiceover, and that's, my videos are like 40 seconds long. So I can make a 40-second video on a $2,000, let's say, item and make $100, or I could live stream for 5.5 hours, sell 11 items and make $3. There you go. Yeah, they do have a lot of rules. If you take a look at their page about what you can and cannot do, like can't talk disparaging, can't be like, this is a piece of junk, right? You'd be like, however you'd want to word it nicely. And you can't show prices. You can't show your address. There's a lot of stickiness when it's like, don't show kids. Like pretty much don't show kids, or don't show kids without an adult being in the screen as well. And in fact, if it's the back of the kid's head, and don't show kids' face. I mean, like there's a lot of, with kids, a lot of sticky red tape, as there should be, about that. So keep that in mind. Okay. And I will say, if you are making Amazon videos, they do not care about you. They don't care about a name, an introduction. They certainly don't care about following you on other social medias. You can't ask for it. So don't do it. And if you mention other social sites, I have seen videos get declined because, like, you happen to say, I use this for live streaming on the bad place, the YouTube place, or some other place or something like that. It's a gray area. I saw someone got their video declined. There was a huge, like YouTube subscriber count, electronic counter, like in their background, and some different stuff like that. Someone had their branding as an overlay, like all over everything. There's a lot of don'ts. In fact, there are some groups too that I have also seen where they actually, I wish they would get in trouble because they're ruining it for a lot of us. They photoshopped in a product. Yeah. And it wasn't even there. And it says you're supposed to have the product. It's tricksy people. So there's that. But yeah, that was really good advice. I would just say, just make a ton of videos, man. That's one thing I really like about Amazon videos. You don't have to be beholden to any niche. You'll see I've got stuff like pet stuff, and then outdoor furniture stuff. And then like I went to a friend's house for a barbecue, and they had stuff that I saw like, here, open this bottle of wine. I'm going to film you. And then I'm going to tag this product on Amazon. It was like their basketball hoop. And I was like, yep, making a video of that because they bought it on Amazon. And I'm like, yep, that's getting in there. And then there was also one more. It was it's like their knife block or something like that. I was in their kitchen and I was like, yep, taking a video of that. I've had friends though that have gone overnight and stayed in a hotel, and they had a Keurig in their room, and they're like, oh, sweet, a Keurig. So they took a video, I think, not only on the pod, because obviously, Amazon sells Keurig pods, but also the machine itself. Like, look at me, I'm making coffee in my Keurig, and, it's available on Amazon. And they made, like, you start seeing content everywhere. And I think people in my life are probably like, oh, like, can I just eat? And because the other day I saw like my flatware is available on Amazon. So I was like, oh my gosh. So I had to like have the place setting out there so I could like show my fork. It was just like, it's everywhere, man. It's everywhere. And I was just like, okay, yeah, everything is now subject to, is it on Amazon? Can I scan it for a UPC real quick? Is it available on Amazon? Can I? So, okay. Oh, if any of my YouTube channel members are out there, I did put out a post on the community post, which is a members only. I think you guys should be able to see it. Let me just go pop it up. We had talked about doing a Descript day, a Descript demo day show and tell, and I put a proposed date for Tuesday, July 5th, and it would be 4 o'clock Pacific time. And I was like, hey, let me know if this will work for you. Looks like there are people already voting yes. And they've also voted yes. And so, yeah, that looks like maybe the working plan will be Tuesday, July 5th. And the way that I want to set that up is everyone we can take turns and you'll have time to show us how you're using Descript, any cool tips and tricks you want to talk about, any questions. We are not a Descript support group, but since there are multiple people using it, I know Keely's been using it a lot. Maybe someone has come across something. Maybe they could help you with. No guarantees, but I thought it would be a fun show and tell to have y'all be able to show each other, and I'll show as well how I'm using Descript. Okay. Thoughts on multiple videos under products, like for instance, yep, I do an unboxing and usually one in the wild. So I'm for it. Amazon says you can have up to 3. So yep. Yeah. Yeah, I definitely do that. I definitely do it. So Pixelpia says, I really hope I can be there. I can't still get Descript to find my mic. That is really weird too, because that's just really weird. Yeah. Is it a USB mic? You going into an interface? You know what? I don't even think I've ever tried to record audio directly in Descript. I've only ever dropped in a finished file or created and typed up. Oh, one last story time and then I'll go. Or typed in a document. Today, I remember how I was saying, it's Attack of the Robots, man. They're taking over the world. And I'm working on this project currently in Descript. I really like Jasper, or formerly Jarvis. And I was mad because I used to have access to it, and then I didn't have access to it, and I didn't use it at the time to like really write anything. But I was like, now I want to. And so I had a friend of mine add me to his team so I can get in there and mess around with some stuff. Because I said what I want to do. I want to run an experiment where I have it AI generate me like a blog post. And then I want to take that generated blog post and I want to shove it into Descript and make the AI Shelly bot voice spit out a video, like an audio from the AI generated blog post. And I want to run the whole thing through the gamut and see how it goes. So I'm currently doing that. I got access today. So I gave it a quick, like, this is my topic. And then it came back with a few points. I didn't really like the points. I mean, some of this obviously is not fully automatic. So I decided in this particular instance, I was going to type in some additional, like I changed a couple and then I typed in some stuff. But I took that document, then I shoved it into Descript, and then I was able to generate. I have the hiccups. I'm sorry. Okay. No, maybe not. I was able to generate an audio file. And then from the audio file, I'm doing like the words, the automated transcript, like words, audiogram looking thing. And it has a waveform. Like I'm trying to throw all this stuff together on the same thing because I'm really trying to like throw some stuff at it just to experiment, just not video, you know? And then I have, it actually has a timer function. So I'm doing all 3 at the same time. They're audiogram, highlighted words, plus a wave file thing, plus a timer in the shape of a circle. So I'm trying to throw this all in together and then have it all be placed on top of this vertical oriented little template, just photo thing or whatever you want to call it. So that's what I was working on before I had to leave today to go to the going away party. So I'm currently, I should go back to that project and finish it out and then publish it. And I can say that kind of the robots made a video today, but really it was also me. And me behind the scenes, like getting mad at the keyboard and stuff. So just the testament, it will be a testament that I just even finished it. And yeah, so there's that. Even though it's not even that exciting, just the fact that it was generated and then typed into a document and then spit out in my voice or close enough to my voice. Technology is wild, man. Technology is wild. No, you're good, Matthew. It's fine. Going off on another tangent is very much par for the course. We're very on brand with that one, so it's totally fine. And in fact, I believe that we're also going to be doing another live stream. I don't know. Did we decide if it's a members only one or whatever to do? Was it a members only live stream? One specifically only on Amazon Video? Because I know Adam also had questions, I think, about Amazon videos. So I think it was Descript demo day. And then the next one was going to be a live stream for members about Amazon Video, right? So if that's something also you're interested in, become a channel member. Woo! And you'll be invited to that members only live stream. All right, I'm going to go. I don't need to give a reason. I'm going to go. Yeah, because we're at the end of the stream. Thank you to the last couple of you hanger honors. Like, y'all are the real MVPs for hanging in this long. I appreciate you all. Thank you so much. Come on Thursday, 5:30 PST, to see Gwen do her data science goddess stuff. Come at 4 o'clock if you want to see us do our podcast. Okay. So just basically spend Thursday night with me. Thank you so much. And it will be a double dose of myself and Gwen. And that's 5:30. And then it's not next week, but the week after that, Tuesday will be the members only live stream for the demo Descript day. Although that one is going to be made public. Is that right? Yeah, I think I remember. It's going to be made public, but only the channel members will be able to come in, do the demo, and chat. Yes, that rings a bell. So make sure there's all that info. Yeah. All right. I hope you all have a great night. Thank you so much. I will see you on the interwebs very soon. Bye, y'all.